So just over a week ago, the Arnault family and Red Bull the brand came together for a meeting. The billionaire family planned to revolutionize Paris with the brand, making RB Paris into an actual team, but at the moment, Paris FC are flying in Ligue 2, top of the table. So the brand has cut it off, going to the bottom of French football and creating their own team, RB Paris. And after doing well for the Red Bull brand in London, they've hired me to try and take this team to be the best in France. As yes, people, the Red Bull brand is back. I know you guys like these videos, and you can see me there as the manager. There I am, and I cannot wait to get going. Of course, we have got the badge in game, and that's thanks to the mod creator. Link down below, and if you are on PC, you can get this mod for yourself. But remember what I said about this team? Young, inexperienced, we have took over the worst one. Martiguez replaced, but replaced with a brand new team, and these ratings, nope. They really don't look good enough. And if it wasn't hard enough, there of course is going to be challenges, as the first one, a youth player each season, pretty simple. And the second aim, difficult. We've got to each season sign a player based in Paris for FC or PSG. And then we've got to win the Champions League, overcoming our Paris rivals and each other club, as there is a locked objective, which you're going to have to wait for, as who are our best players at the team. Mathieu Roy, who still is 25-year-old. Simon Aubert, he's 24, he's got a bit more potential. And Albert Robson, who's actually not a Frenchman. Not the youngest of teams, but of course the budget's what I care about. And £1 million, how can we sign someone? I mean, at least already we do have a 5-star scout in Thomas Moulin. Help us out, please. We need you to work overtime. As of course for the first season, we don't need to grow French players, but being a French team, I'm going to send him to France. As defenders is what I've told him to look for, because look at the defense in this squad. Not a rating over 60, and that's not going to keep us up in this league. As yes, we can't get relegated, but still I don't want to be bottom. So let's rush a signing, and we might not get the best of options due to the budget, as I'm just looking at this man here. Samaharo, the centre-back, 19 years of age, no in-game face, and we could get him for 600k. So I'm going to try do that. Although it's signing from a rival, we are allowed to do it, and I think for this first season, we will try our glitch, with the sell-on clause being high. Needed to be done, so we can literally just afford this signing. It's a signing we have to make for the objectives, not out of choice. As if it was up to me, we wouldn't have spent anything at all. As yes, he's into the team, but it's going to be hard to sign youth players now. How do we pay wages with 62k in the bank? Are you already telling me we have to sell players here? As we do have a lot of contracts as well running out at the club. Yeah, this is difficult. This is a tricky position, as I'm already selling players just to get a little bit of funds in to literally pay for youth, as this man's going to Newport. And then this man, our starting keeper, he's going to Nantong. Jamal Ali going to the legendary Grimsby town. And Fabio Pereira for some extra money to Bergaluru. Or was it Bengan? I'm terrible with names, but not terrible at making money, because we now have €1 million, which thankfully has allowed us to get some talent in, with Gregory Paul looking absolutely double decent. Also Bikanic, who started at this academy, and Benzai as well. He's from Algeria. And this team, apart from the goalkeeper slot, is already a lot better. And we do have a keeper on the way, so it's not like we haven't got one growing. One in the academy, as I'm just going to stick on counter-attacking, with the target forward and poacher, and then 2 hard-working midfielders in this very basic formation, just hoping to grind some results out. And I've just thought before going into this next part of the season, I'd change my kit to a Paris one just to fit the vibe. As I got this from Soccer Deal Shop, I might not have spoke about them for a while, but they are in the description, and you can use MWS10 for a discount. Cheap and affordable kits right there. As you know what else is cheap and affordable? Leaving a like and subscribing Because it's completely free. As this team wasn't free, we played a very structured 4-4-2, which has seen some increases, unfortunately not to the goalkeeper. But Paul, 69 rated, and he's only been here a bloody season. Chavarro at the side of him, he's only 17. Benzai, the Algerian, now he's looking very decent, but I am just looking at the ratings, not the overall happiness, as that wasn't too good. And hang on, our top scorer is Matthew Roy, who hasn't increased in his overall. Maybe because he's a bit older, and maybe because all his teammates are leaving. Maybe this has the squad upset because I'm releasing all the bad ratings to flood us full of academy players, and I don't like that. I think that's why we're unhappy, because we finished rock bottom. Yes, the badge not loaded right there, but it is loaded right here, and we lose on penalties to Lorient in the first round of the Coupe de France. And there are playoff final teams, Angers and Stade Levois. Said I didn't want bottom spot, and we don't have that goalkeeper. Could we actually get one before starting next season? And I'm not talking free agents, because we have this man here. Maxime Vaillant, only 16-year-old and 59 rated. Could come good. But who am I actually kidding? If we do want to win the Champions League, it's gonna take more than that. And we can buy a new keeper with 4 mil. But the first priority, obviously, has to be our academy. And with the amount of players we released, I'm going to go for 2 scouts. Our best one going to France, because obviously that's worked out last season. And our second one, Algeria. He's a 4-star, 3-star scout as well. As we've looked out on one Algerian, so I'm going to keep on going with this. It might have a thing to it. We might find the next Mahrez. As these are the players we've left with, and we can only just fill a bench with 1 defender on it in Lambert, and I don't like that. But I do like our normal defense. The position I think we've got to go for first is a right mid, because Fontaine is a centre mid, who is playing out of position, as luckily enough, Paris FC still in our division, so we might be able to steal a signing. And I'm looking at this man, Andy Pembele. Think I've signed him before, but his contract is running out. Will he be here long term? No, but short term, he improves us. As that's him over the line, and we've actually got him for decent money, less than £1 million, or less than 3/4 of it. And I was gonna say that replaces Audebert out wide, but Audebert's just left us, and also Robson, leaving us needing a left mid before we turn to the academy. And we don't need to go from Paris, we've already got our Paris-based player. So I've been extra careful with money, gone very cheap on a left mid from the German 3rd tier called Luthard. He goes into the left mid slot, and yes, he's not the best at the moment, but 19 years old, again fits in with the youth approach. And we saved up 1 million to, of course, afford more youth players or pay the wages of our academy. And this is actual comical timing, because our best 2 players is a right mid and left midfielder. And I would have loved to change our shape, maybe go 3 at the back, but when you see our left back and right back are 2 of our best players as well, we've got incredibly unlucky, made a brilliant team, but still a 59 rated in goal is not a good thing. Cheers for that, EA. Just a perfect sprinkle of luck that when we don't have the good players. Didn't mean to see the league right then. Already caught a glimpse though, and 17th in the table. One of our worst career mode starts since the last video we just did. Still, we managed to come back though with Portsmouth in that one, as Bastia beat us in the first round of the Cup again. Not into the playoff final, Stade de Reims in our division, or in the division above, losing in the playoffs. That is the Will Still effect. Losing him has been big to them, as look at some of these player ratings. They are tremendous. Auger, look at the right hand side. Paul as well behind him. Xavier doing very well. And also Bicanic trained into a left back, as everybody's been signed up, and I do like the evaluations as who could we sell for the most. Baptiste Auger, but I don't really want to sell him because overall our best player, and we do want to get promotion next year. With Benzai getting 11, Roy getting 14, and only 2 growth, it looks like his growth is haltering. So next season, season 3, I do think we get another striker in, maybe a centre mid, but definitely a goalkeeper. Definitely need one, as the budget's 3 million. I actually swear down, if we only go up to 16th, I will be fuming. As do we actually use the academy? Because most positions we have are academy players. Literally our captain and then right up front the strikers are our only players here that have not come through that 5-star scout. As yes, Algeria didn't work last year, so for the first time today, we're gonna say no to using the youth academy. We are going to go free, but not completely free. We know our restrictions. Got to sign from Paris, as Paris FC still in our division. But PSG we can sign from, and I actually haven't touched these yet. Fonzie has been signed. Kukureya, Camberfinger, Oscar Bob. Okay. These are players I'm noting for the future. But at the moment, no goalkeeper. Unfortunately, Donnarumma and this guy, Safanov, who is, of course, too good for us. We'd have to double our budget to go ahead and get him. Asirios, really? Is he the only player we could get? Goalie-wise, I guess, but I think I'm going to try something else. Go and sign Ibrahim, the Algerian, for very cheap. Why? Because firstly, he's a very cheap player we can get in, and plus he's got a bit of potential. Maybe could change him to a centre-back, giving us £2 million, and then we will promote some youth players already from the academy, so we're not spending any extra money. Because we did need to promote some. There's a left-back and right-back onto the bench. No centre-back on the bench, but we definitely need a keeper first. Valiant has potential, though. 65 rated at 17 is not the worst in the world, but we need to get better. If we are to chase a promotion, but still 2 million's quite cheap, that we are going to be spending, so I'm going to look in lesser leagues. Or leagues outside the top 5, as this is a second division. In Germany, because it's Schalke's Justin Hekeren. Not the cheapest of keepers, and not the youngest of keepers, but of course keepers stay around for longer, and he's only 25. A lot of time still to grow. Just look at Emiliano Martinez. He didn't grow really until later on in his career. And I did want some coaches to help our midfield duo, but none actually affordable, and plus we do have contracts. All my days we have contracts, right? They're going to be my priority, especially for these two, Bourgois and Fontaine, as although they're the lowest rated, I have big faith in them. And hopefully they've grown. And it is not a 16th place finish. You can see we're not below 11th. So we have had some gradual improvement. Going up the table, we finished 3rd. So that means top of the playoffs. And we were a long way off Saint Etienne. So definitely not automatic. I haven't seen PSG win the Coupe de France yet. As we were out in round 1, we lost to Troyes. So out again. Paris out to Lorient. Okay, they lost in a quarter-final. As speaking of quarterfinals, I'm gonna make you wait on R1. Or maybe it's straight into the semi-final with actually finishing top of the playoffs. As this is the team we've used, and you can see it's a youth to glory. Hikeren's had some growth. He's now 73 in between our sticks, and I believe he was one of the lowest. Roy is actually the lowest, who I genuinely feel sorry for, because when we look at this list, some brilliant players right here, yet Roy's always been top scorer. And this season, no difference. Honestly, his age has screwed him. 19 goals this season. Why isn't he growing? At least the midfield's grown as well. These two under 20. Fontaine, the oldest of the two, and 75 overall. Also a good bench. Yes, we do lack a striker. So I believe next season what happens, Roy to the bench, new striker bought. As now we'll check the playoffs, and as you can see, we wasn't in the quarterfinal. Straight into the semis, where we did beat Pau FC, landing us in a final, and we won that final 4-3 on aggregate against the team from the top division, meaning us, RB Paris, have beaten Paris FC to gaining a spot in the French top division. As here we go, this is when the real business starts. stars. Into the business end, and we know what business we must do. The man I just highlighted, Roy, has to go, but only 7 million euros in the top division of France? That genuinely isn't much. And the first thing I'm doing is checking our academy, because the objective stays the same. We need to promote one of these players, or in fact the objective grows. It doesn't stay the same, as the locked objective here is about to be opened, and you can see it says we need to sign 3 French players. Being Red Bull Paris, Red Bull wants more French involved. And that is fine by me, as the first thing we're going to do is promote Gustave Le Bon, who counts as one of our youth players. So yes, that does mean we have to still sign 3 French players, and plus we do need that one player from PSG or Paris FC. And we could go cheap again, because I am dying for the extra striker, as when we do put Roy on the bench, it shows how desperate we truly are. And if you're thinking at this moment in time, Max, you're going to Paris FC, well, I can tell you right now, my striker's not coming from Paris FC. Neither does it come from PSG, the best team. I saw this man last season, Antoine Griezmann, as speaking of last seasons, it definitely could be his, with a very small asking price, because he is 36 years old and he probably will retire on us, but still, we need to survive. As over he comes, and I mean, he's a very good veteran. If he could just score a few goals for us, keep us in this division, I'd be eternally grateful, but as you can see by his wage, looks a waste of money with 50k a year for him. Oh, that's probably a week, but don't worry about our money now, because I've seen the money flood through, and a lot of bids for this man Bicanic, or Bicanic, whatever he's called, the Serbian, as he leaves the club for £20 million. And now business can boom, as we've still got to sign a Paris-based player, Lohan Douchet, if we could change him to a backup centre mid. He shouts a player to me who's going to be here for the long term, as in fact if he does learn to be a centre mid, he fits straight in our team. And also you can see he is our second Frenchman, leaving one more needed with 30 million euros, which we can't spend all of because we need to pay some wages this year. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spend half of it on this up-and-coming youth player, 67 rated. This man Devaux, I don't know how I'm going to say it. I'm going to go with Devaux because, of course, he isn't a bloody real player, as this is the real team we've used, and you can see some good increases. The only problem I see, Pembele on the wing, meaning we must have lost another player, as how much did he go for? 50.8, okay, Auger, I'm fine with him leaving. That's a tasty release clause, which I actually didn't know he had, as now 46 million, and I did just get a glimpse of the league. 15th in the table, sits us just above relegation, 6 points over Nantes, so Red Bull is safe. Yours truly wins the league, PSG, as always. But they don't make a cup final, as we make the round of 16. Not bad at all, and of course we're not into the playoffs quarter-final. No need to fight for promotion, and hopefully we get further from that. In constantly surviving, as our best 2 players are our defenders, Gregory Paul and Xavier Xavier. Probably butchered them, as finally, Roy not our top scorer. It is Benzai the Algerian and Antoine Griezmann second. 9 goals in 22 is actually not bad at all, as I want to see top scorer, and it's Victor Roque of Paris. Okay, I thought we would be on this list, and obviously not with all these players, as there we go, 2 players scoring quite a few goals. And the reason I wanted to know goal scorers is because I want to evaluate strikers. Now Griezmann going down, and he is officially retiring. A shame that, but the real reason I wanted to evaluate goals was not because of our strikers, but changing our shape. As Douchet on the bench is now a 77 rated, and when I put him into this shape, a 4-3-3 defensive, we've got Pembele, who can play, but we're probably going to replace him with the money, and then Brune as a winger should be a lot higher rated. Only 2 weeks to a change, and the real reason I want him as a winger, despite 73 shooting, he's got 88 finishing ability, and that needs to be utilised further up the pitch, as we're going to go with wing play and change our wingers into forwards. Or inside forwards, as I actually don't believe this. We've got 25 million. The board took our profit off us. Absolutely shambles, as luckily in this season. We have an academy player left, Tagmawi, who's getting promoted. Counting as the academy player, so we don't have to pay to start one up. But I do think we pay for a winger and also a goalkeeper. If we can sell Justin here again, his growth has been phenomenal over 2 years. We should get a little bit of money, and Valiant is a good backup. As I was just about to say, it's about time we visit PSG, but they've only one goalkeeper, and that is Donnarumma, who's definitely not affordable, but one Paris player that is. The man we scouted before, Oscar Bob. 17 million with a sell-on clause, because I don't want to sell him. I want him to reach potential, so our second marquee signing, with Griezmann being the first big name, but this man can become a big name. Surprised we got him so cheap? Then again, he's 24 years old. So if he is to reach that potential, he's got to accelerate quickly. As one player accelerating out of the door is Hirkeren, giving us £11 million to try and find a new keeper with. And I can't lie to you guys, this has been a pretty hard challenge to find. A real-life goalkeeper, as the player in mind is another region. As welcoming Martin Romero, the Argentine, hopefully takes after Romero and has a decent career in him. As initially it is a downgrade on Hirkeren's rating, but overall the team's age hopefully carries us up the league. Hoping this season we've gone from just kind of survival to somewhere in between. Has just seen Griezmann's depressed me. There he is. He's 66 rated, Antoine, now. And by the way, I designed this kit. The mod lets you make your own one. And I really like that, as the ratings now here at the team. It's a good job we've gone youth, because our budget's never been big. And that youth really good, as now Benzai our top scorer. 84 rated, and Brunette's now 84. As I changed him to a winger, he got a +2. And then I told you, 88 finishing, he was bound to score goals. As now everybody's above 80, and one player I saw score a lot of goals then is Roy on the bench, now into his twilight years, into his 30s, as we didn't lose any players this year, just gained Romero and then Oscar Bob, who was 82 rated. Very good growth, as we are further away from the relegation zone, but as you can see right there, 11th is miles off 5th. Which would be the Champions League, as oh my days, does that put us in something? Winning the Coupe de France on penalties over Stade de Reims. We beat Havre, that's an easy-ish game. Then before that, Laval, and then before that, Strasbourg. We really looked our way to a trophy. Doesn't matter how we got there though, we still went ahead and got in that competition, as straight to the objectives, and we have got into Europe. They expect a quarter-final. We're very lucky to do that. I didn't even know we would, and we have just qualified and £15 million. Are you sure this is run by Red Bull? Jurgen Klopp, what are you doing? You're trying to ruin football. Bringing a brand into the game and not even giving the brand some money? Genuinely horrific, as how's 15 million? Come on. Going to improve this team. I have nowhere to bloody put it. Gonna be one out, one in, and we do need to start an academy again. So yeah, we're gonna have to sell a player, but it's who? That's what's bothering me. Maybe Duche, because he's already submitted a transfer request. 26 years old. We probably could sign younger. So yes, that's what we're going to do. And I am also going to break my tradition by only scouting Tunisia, not France, the country we're in. So let's see what they can find, as our first bid is a swap. Nestroy Irankunda and no money for Duche. Really good offer, but unfortunately we don't want that player. Not in this save anyway. 42 million is required, because I know it was Man United, and I know they'll go ahead and pay it. That's 42 million for a player we didn't want. Refreshing the budget now, and of course we're looking for a youth player, but that's not the only thing we need. We do need a Paris FC player, or PSG, as I've never heard of this guy before. Gabriel Moscado, 23 years old. Same rating as Duche was, but still we've paid less money, and this guy's a lot younger, absolutely breaking our system, as the board only initially gave us 15 million to spend, and after getting a first teamer, we've still got 18 million. So before we keep going with our spending, because we are going to spend that money, we've already paid the wages out and already got a youth player. Benzekri is promoted, but he's only 61 rated. And when I say spend the money, I am looking solely at the bench. As speaking of buying, Brentford want Brunate, who I'm saying right now they aren't getting a lot of decent bids here. Just look at the money in the bottom corner. A swap deal with Lee Kang in it. Very, very tempting, but for now, I'm trusting our squad and just helping it out with a few more senior players, such as Douglas Augusto, the Brazilian playmaker, Chancel Mbamba, the Marseille stalwart, and Amin Harit, experienced in European competitions. That's a good mix of veterans straight onto our bench, including our own veteran Roy, 76 rated. For him to go +2, that means he must have scored a lot of goals. Because he doesn't grow on his own, but this team does grow on its own. Look at this. Almost some 90 rated. We've got an 89 Brunette, an 88 Gregory Paul, Xavi who's doing well, Fontaine on the rise. Also Oscar Bob with 16 goals this season, but Brunette and Benzai both getting 24. And I saw a lot of games played, because of course we were in the Europa League, hopefully going far, as you can't see us in the bottom half. Finally a good sign. Are we up there? Yes! Champions League football, but still not winning League on. Paris hard to overthrow, shown by the trophy champions. Or is it Trophy des Championnes? I don't know, but they beat us. And they are in the Coupe Nationale final against Lorient, as we lost in the round of 32 to Stade de Reims. Getting revenge on them, because of course we got promoted with them. As Liverpool versus Milan, it is the Istanbul UCL final. But the Europa League final more important, because we have done it. I believe that's the first time this FIFA we go ahead and win the Europa League. And it's a big trophy in the cabinet, but the way we've done it's extraordinary. As this is the semi-final, 8-6 after being behind. Same against Valencia. We were behind, I believe, 4-0. And then before that, we beat Aston Villa, a good team. We went through the playoffs, beating Copenhagen, actually, because we finished 17th. That's a little bit concerning. But again, just hoping it is one of them off seasons for this team, which rating-wise, honestly, should be the best almost in France. Had to change what I was going to say, because I wanted to say we're better than Paris. But looking at some of their ratings, I've seen 3 players over 89, 4 including Vitinha. So yeah, they're probably still better than us, but we should have been close to top spot. As can we sign any of their players? That's what the objectives say. As how much is the... oh my days. 35 million. Are you actually having a laugh? That's not enough to compete, as last year we had to buy to sell, and I think this year could be the same, because this is honestly embarrassing. Budget-wise, not the team, because I'm just trying to flick through to see who we sell. Maybe Bourgeois, because he's 22, 85 rated. That should be money. And also we lost one of his centre-backs, so we could do with another centre-back backup, and also a right-back. I do still trust Valian, although he's not grown. As do we actually sell Bourgeois, because Fontaine's 88? But then we probably still use him to try get up the leagues. That's, oh my days, this offer though. West Ham United, 190 million. Brunette's one of our best though, so I'm going to set a strict price tag, 220 million. I want an extra 30 for a bench player. And they say no, Lopetegui actually can't afford it. I should have remembered the team asking. It is West Ham United putting the bid in. But then, they come again. They've obviously got some money they want to burn. As Bourgeois, £106 million for the Frenchman. I know you've come through the academy, but respectfully, get out of here. As we've just made a fortune on a player that's one of our weakest. As first things first as well, don't you dare think I forgot about the academy. Now we're in the UCL, I want to keep growing French players. See if we do get anything decent as 125 million going on a centre mid, and there's plenty of good French midfielders such as Kari of PSG. Not what we're actually aiming for. I just thought it was a shout because I can't forget I need a Paris player. Oh, and Ake, when I do flick to the defenders, you know, Nathan Ake's very cheap. Maybe we could get him under 10 mil? As no, 12 million, but still that's good enough for this player who will just sit on the bench, but brings a lot of experience with him. Great signing, but now, do you know when I said we needed a French midfielder? Here at Chelsea, they have Eduardo Camavinga, and they also have Tchouaméni, but that's actually not the last of it. As Leslie Ogachukwu, he's also here with the Blues, and the one I'm actually going to choose should actually be the cheapest. Still 100 million on a 30-year-old Tchouaméni. And I know he's a CDM, but I'm actually going to change the shape up of the team. He is a vital piece, hopefully to stopping the goals going in the Europa League, but I'm going to go to a CDM formation. And buckle in, people. I'm going to tell you what's happened this season. This is a big one. Smash a like if you haven't already. Shameless plug by me there. As you can see, we're in the top half. We're actually in the top 4. It still isn't winning the Champions League. And 40 goals conceded has me worrying Tchouaméni's impact wasn't good, as it definitely wasn't good in the round of 32 of the Cup. And Nessie went and beat us, as then we lost in the Super Cup. Liverpool 2-1, but what I show you next, this will blow your mind, because as you can see, we finished in the top 3. Paris finished 3rd, and Benfica top of the league phase. This of the Champions League, as in the first game as well. Another huge comeback, this time from 3-0 down. Beating Milan, as then Chelsea we beat 4-2. And then in the semis, we beat the rivals. Paris Saint-Germain conquered as the final though. Paris versus Brighton, we make the UCL final at the first time of asking, and the bench, very stinky as you can see. All our veteran players actually going down now. So the bench didn't help us, but the first team definitely did, because we've got a lot of 90 rated, 4 in the team at the moment. If you haven't seen the last video, a lot of our best players were suspended, and this time they are not. So at least that's one of the good positives. As another good positive, the same thing, is the goal scorers. Brunette, the winger we use, got 27, and we're glad we kept him now, as West Ham did want him. And speaking of West Ham, they're surely on the same level as Brighton. How are Brighton in the UCL final? With these players they've got, I mean, there's 3 actual decent ones right there. Arda Güler in the squad. Okay, I'm seeing they're actually quite decent. As here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very excited for this. What is this kit we're wearing? Still Brighton classed as at home, and they need all the advantage they can get with our players as Fontaine on the run. It is Fontaine around bodies, a shot in on goal, and that is early days. A goal for RB Paris, and it comes in the 6th minute from our winger Brunette. That is a lively start. I mean, the save by, I believe it was David Raya they had in goal. Absolutely calamitous, and 95 ball speed. Very good finish into an open net. 1-0 RB Paris. Brilliant start to the game, but of course we've still got to keep on going. Look at the gaps in Brighton's defence. It is open. Oscar Bob for another. I can't believe we're playing Brighton. David Raya can't catch a cold, and that's surely a penalty. As still we go again though. Oscar Bob on a run in behind of their defence. Oscar Bob on the angle. It's another bad save, and the exact same goal. Brunette with the flips. He's got a brace in this first half. And for Brighton Hove Albion, this ship is quickly sinking. Amazing from us so far, but oh dear, there's a man in there. A bad save from our keeper. At least he catches the ball second time round. Unlike a certain David Raya, and look at Brunette, time of his life. Fontaine from range. Oh my days, it's close. Never seen a more dominant first half, and there we go. Another save by us though, as we've been fairly comfortable, but still they could get back into this one. Game not over, as Arda Güler running through our defence. He almost got past us. Then Gregory Paul's in the way, who has been bloody good this game, and look at that. A youth player from the start. Same with Brunette, who was almost past the defence. Oh, defence. Bit my own tongue there, as that is a brilliant ball through. Benzai on the run, and Benzai bends it home. Or just fires it home. It is 3-0 on the hour mark. Paris here completely untouchable. No chance they come back now. This is a brilliant finish. How many can we get? We've never had a final easier. I don't believe we have. Anyways, that's a brilliant ball around the corner now. And Brunette, can he turn provider? That is a very deep cross in the box. Destined to go wide, though, by Oscar Bob since he hit it. The movement, though, from our team. Extraordinary as that should have been another. Still, David Raya can't catch in this Karius-esque performance. As Brennan Johnson easily tackled. Devow to whack it up, and that is the final whistle. A 3-0 whitewash, and I am sorry to any neutrals, but that was the easiest final ever. As Klopp should be proud because his Red Bull team has won the UCL. As it's going to be Sumahoro, our first signing, and I'm probably still butchering that name. And I think I know the reason we won it. I actually changed the kit. Took the PSG kit off as he takes the trophy into the air, as that is another Red Bull club ticked off. As if you want to use this for yourself, it's in the description. And if I should do another one of these, let me know in the comments below. Which country, which town, which city, which anything, you name it. As also more videos to click right here.